Wow. I won.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Subculture Live. I am your host, Sammy Jo, and tonight I am joined by co-host Alan Kay and our special guest, Eric Murphy. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. Yeah, as you can see.
And another
Doing well
special
too.
guest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the young. Come on, move. It's my time. Back up.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So Eric, I have been waiting for this for a long time. Last year, you kind of did your rounds on all the different podcasts, and I tuned in and watched all of them. And I said, I'm just going to wait for my time. I'll wait. I'm going to be patient. So here we are. I'm so excited.
Yeah, let's get it.
Now, this, I don't know. So you and Alan, I guess you guys probably are friends on social media, but this is like officially you guys are getting to meet. Alan is an aspiring men's physique pro, right? That's our goal this year, is to get that pro card.
That is the goal for this year. Absolutely, is to get it. So yeah, just like Sammy said, I got put onto you from one of my boys. His name is Cody. Big shout out to my boy Cody. But I remember we regularly talked about, following people that are ahead of us in this process, people that are mainstays in the community, such as yourself. And yeah, I've been following your content for a while, man. So I'm really, really excited about this interview and about this podcast for sure.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I love it. You know what? I'm going to just start with one icebreaker before I'm going to let Alan kind of jump into this too. So here's my one icebreaker. It says, what did your 15-year-old self imagine that you would be doing right now?
50. I don't know, because I was at 15. At 15, I was hustling. So really, at 13, I started my own business, like lawn service business. So
Okay. So you've been driven. Like that drive has been in you.
yeah, actually, oh yeah, 15. I was trying to go to college for wrestling. I started wrestling in middle school, so I was like gonna wrestle and then do the whole Olympia thing.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So this whole competitive lifestyle is nothing new to you.
No,
No.
yeah, I was doing dieting before I really knew what dieting really was.
That's awesome. That's good. That's cool. That's cool. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hand this over to you, Alan.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because Sammy here we go with the whole brand new questions.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, as I mentioned earlier, one of the things that I started noticing, right, more than anything else, is like you're posing, right? And one of the things I admire about it, man, and this is just me giving you your kudos. Every time I watch one of your videos posing and I see you going through your moves, like, God damn, that boy's got some moves, huh?
Alan,
I know, I know what
can
you're
I
about to
run a
say.
video? I'm gonna run a video.
Oh no, you don't. No, hold on.
Run a video. Yeah. Let the video do the explaining for me because he's got it.
Oh, this video. I thought you were talking about something else.
I wouldn't do that to you.
I mean, you can. I'm fine with it.
I mean, you know how much confidence you have to be wearing a highlighter pair of pink shorts out into a competition and having that much swag?
Yeah, it ain't me. It's the Chula shorts. That's definitely
It was the shorts, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. It's the Chula shorts, which you have a brand new pair, Alan. The blue Chula shorts, right?
Right. I might need to just swap them out for some pink ones, though. See, look, even the little smile, the little sly smile there.
I 100% black out every time I'm on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
So I got to ask you then, because I feel like this routine is amazing. Like, when you get up there on stage and you're up there posing and doing all these amazing moves, like, even though you say you're black out, are there any thoughts that go through your head while you're on stage, or is there anything that you kind of have a, I don't know, like a mindset towards when you're on stage?
So when I'm doing my routine, I'm completely blacked out. I don't even really know what I did until I came off stage because I practice it so much. It's like when I hit it, it's like I've done it like a couple
But
hundred times.
Couple hundred.
So,
Oh, so it's the same routine that you have building up into that every single time.
oh no, it's. I think last year I did a different routine pretty much almost every show, but it's like 30 minutes, an hour posing and
Uh-huh.
doing that routine like throughout breaks while I'm working out. So like little bits and pieces of it, I'll do like 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there. And it just ends up being like repetitive over and over and over.
it's that muscle memory.
Like-
Yes, because you know for a fact I can't dance. So you know.
I do.
That's what I thought you was gonna post. I thought you was gonna post that video.
Whoa, wait, Eric, you don't know how to dance? Even though you go with those moves, you don't know how to dance.
I wouldn't call it dancing. Like I do you stand on the wall.
It just a little, I think that's all you need though. It's just a
Yeah.
little soda thing here and there, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she
man.
knows. Everybody thought I was playing. I can't dance though.
Is this like an event, or like was this like at the club or something?
Well,
Like, can you guys
listen,
put out the setting?
Alan K, there is a after party at the Florida Pro, and there's a dance floor, and that's where we found out.
Well, you didn't
I'm
find out.
kind- yeah,
I told it. I told everybody.
He told everybody. We
Yeah.
witnessed it. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I was hoping for some type of like Cupid shuffle moment or something like that, and it's like Eric couldn't get those
Kinda.
moves down or something. Like
I had to practice it a lot. I could do that. I used to be able to do it.
you. Okay. All right. Well, one of the first questions I had outside of just posing, we kind of started talking about it, which was the time in. And my bad, I didn't mean to assume you were in the Army. I didn't realize you were in the Air Force instead. Are you still active duty? Like, are you in reserves? Like, what's your status in the Air Force for right now?
A little over 18 years in, so I only got like a year and some change left. But yeah, Air Force, MP, military police.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Oh,
Gotcha. Yeah.
I thought MP stood for men's physique.
That too. That's how I knew what category to go to.
Out of curiosity, because all right, so I was in the Navy for 13 years, and I remember how pathetic the PT was with regards to Navy standards. And if anybody's ever seen Navy PT standards, we're in these bright yellow shirts and disgustingly blue shorts. Yeah, see what I mean? You know what I mean? And I remember going through PT in the Navy, being like, this is so damn bad that I actually want to work out because this is so terrible of a programming. For you, being 18 years in the Air Force, does the Air Force PT affect how you approach fitness at all? Or can you explain how that has an effect on how you view fitness?
No, it doesn't. It didn't have an effect on me personally. What I would say is though, the military was the reason I probably got into it, because when I was deployed, there are military personnel that lifted and bodybuild, and then they told me I should probably try it. So without the military, I probably wouldn't even be doing it. So, but our PT is not, to me, it's not really that hard. We're nowhere near like on the Army standards. Some units do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Some units do it like once a week, and it's like 30 minutes, maybe an hour tops.
Okay. And then you said though, during your time in is when you decided to start competing, correct?
Yep.
Nice.
Like 2000, I was deployed in 2013. And the only thing we did was lift, eat and lift and work. So, and then they were like, yo, you should, when we get back, you should think about doing a bodybuilding show. And I was like, I love my candy. Yeah. And they just kept tapping at me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So, and
Wow.
that was pretty much the end from there.
That's awesome.
And so now here we are.
I do.
Go ahead,
Question.
Sammy.
I do have one question. So, so you have been, like I said this in the description, like you've had a successful career, but last year there was something a little different and unique about last year. You did actually 19 shows. Is that right?
Yeah, never again.
Okay, so that was the follow-up question. Was would you
Nope.
guess or would you know you would never do that again? Why or why not?
I wouldn't say never.
19. Wait, let me give Alan this picture. There were multiple weekends where he did 2 shows because some of the pro shows were on a Sunday. He would literally do a show on Saturday, fly to another city, and compete on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, everything that could have went wrong on that first one. Boy, man, I had probably had like 2 hours of sleep for that first one going to the Florida Pro.
Oh, that was from the NPF or NFF, right? NFF in Texas to Florida.
Yeah, the Dallas Showdown, and then flew there, or the plane was delayed like twice. Then we flew there, and by the time we got in, they were like, "Hey, so you booked the hotel for like today, but today at like 1:00." So we had to find another hotel, and then by the time we got in the room, I had to get up in 2 hours.
Jeez. So why 19 shows, and how has that affected your drive or your fatigue towards the sport?
It didn't affect it. It was like 20 something shows, and it kind of started small, like. Ooh, like what was it, Natty Top 10, and how they started using social media to talk about different organizations. And I was like, yep, next year I'm gonna go and do those shows. I'm gonna do their shows. And then I was like, well, I'm not just gonna pay for one registration and do like one show. So I was like, I'll do their championship show, and then I'll do another show. And then the list grew to like 20. It was a lot. And then I just had to kind of nix off shows. And then I had to take it to my boss to be like, hey,
I need to.
Can I? There's a lot of Fridays. Can I get a couple Fridays off? So,
real quick, I have a question. Did anything ever happen with last year's Natty Top 10? Because I heard a little bit about it. Because the previous year, it was kind of Chris and I managing it and putting it out there and really like pushing it hard. But then I never really heard anything else about it, or who won last year, or how many points anybody had, or.
No, so I think like after last I saw was after like October, November was the last push that I saw for like finals, like all the competition seasons. They did like a nice announcement and all the top 10s, but then after that, I really didn't hear too much more.
That's disappointing. Huh. Anyway, well, I am pretty sure that there's no question, points wise, you reigned king. At least on our point scale, on the original called out point scale, you definitely would have had the W.
Yeah, that was a lot of shows.
Here's Daryl. Daryl just added up your points for you.
34,234 points. Oh my God. Yeah. How do you, Eric, like keep that drive there? How do you keep that same professionalism, show in and show out? I mean, for me, who's 6 weeks away from my first show of the year, I'm like dreading it. I'm like looking at everybody eat and just constantly like a crack feed, like, oh my God, give me some of those chips. For you doing like 20 shows or 20 plus shows, how do you keep that drive? How do you keep showing up as Eric Murphy every single time?
I think it's just me. I would just say it's me. It's like once I have a goal, like I'm stuck on that goal, and I'm driven towards that goal. So like if like when I was in the off season, like it's harder for me because it's like I have it's not really a structure. But like when I know I'm going to compete and I'm actually paying for shows and stuff like that, it's like for whatever reason my brain just triggers and just it's like I'm locked in. I'm not really focused on the other shows or how many more shows I have. It's just like I hit the first show and then my next objective is to lock in for the next show. So plus I was able to
Mm.
test out a whole bunch of different peak week protocols too.
I bet. 18 of them.
18, yeah, geez. Does that? I mean, I'm still pretty brand new to the sport, right? Does that affect your health overall, though? Constantly being in peak week.
Um, I would say, well, it didn't for me because I didn't stay in a deficit like for the whole entire year. It was more so uh deficit into a show, then depending on how my energy was, if I can dig a little more, I dug a little bit more. And then after doing a show when there was a big enough break, I would shoot myself slowly kind of back up to maintenance or what I thought was maintenance and then dial in within like 10 days for a show, stay there. And then it kind of just depended on like how my body was or if I felt like I needed to dig or if I needed to actually increase food. So, but I was at maintenance or above maintenance for a lot of the year.
Wow. So you're really intuitive. I mean, it doesn't sound like you have a coach. You're kind of managing this on your own and just
Yeah.
going off how you feel and how you look at any given moment. Is that correct?
Yeah, data. I'm a data driven coach, so I collect a lot of data and I just use the data and the photos to just determine like what's the next course.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm. Okay, so another question I got to ask. So, you're a pro. You're an 18-time pro champion, correct?
Yes,
Like,
sir.
how do I say this? When is being a 19 or 20, 21, 22, when is it going to be like, all right, this guy's already a pro champion 18 million times over? Like, is there an end goal for you, or is there a big vision, or is it just going to keep pushing until you keep pushing?
Now there's new athletes that come out every year. So those athletes is just what kind of drives me. Like I actually like to see like the up and coming amateurs because I just want to compete. Like that competing is like that drive for me. If I don't have that drive, then I'll be in the off season 220, 230, just lifting and eating. You know, I turn into like a dead bod. But seeing the different competitors come out, it just makes me want to compete against them.
I like that.
I got you. Okay, then here's the next question, and I'm not trying to look at the end of your bodybuilding career, but when do you feel like you have had enough? Where it's like, man, I don't know if I could do this anymore. All right, my body's kind of, I'm going to full dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when is
Yeah,
that? When do you believe that moment might be for you? Have you ever considered it, or I mean, what does that look like?
I think I'm gonna try to go as long as I can. I think it'll be like one of those times where I'm just like, you know what, I'm done. But until then, I don't have an end. I don't have an end like year
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait.
75,
Wait a
80.
second. I don't think Alan heard this. I think he had stepped away from the mic for a second at the beginning before we went live. But a
Mhm.
turn of events, his wife is now getting into competing. So I see longevity.
Oh.
If they're getting into this as a couple and she gets the bug, this might be an endeavor you guys like. Yeah.
Yeah, she ain't got no choice to do it. I'm out here doing wellness posing in the gym. People looking at me like, what am I doing? So yeah, she doing it.
I love that.
Nice.
But with
Do,
that, I
and
do want to mention that you do have the team badass physiques.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you do some coaching, and I love on your profile it says teens and adults. I love that you
Yep.
stress teens because I think that is really when we need to get them in the gym and get them involved in fitness because that's a lifetime. Even if they play sports, we all know that, you know, after the field or after the court, it's the gym that lasts the lifetime.
Yeah, and the obesity rates is just ridiculous. So, like educating teens, it just helps out the future.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I just wanted to add that. I just wanted to give you a plug for your team and for your coaching business on the side, online coaching. I think that's phenomenal that you're kind of sharing that with the community.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Are your kids also considering competing as well?
I don't know, Eris, you think about competing? He's heavily into football and basketball. So he like lifting, but I don't know if he there yet.
Gotcha. I feel like that's like a lot of our starts into weightlifting and into competitive bodybuilding is through sports and through training to get ready for it. Because not only does it bring a competitive nature for what we do, but also when you start seeing your physique responding as well, it's like, man, how do I continue this? Oh, how do I keep on getting better with this? I'm actually now I'm intrigued with this now that you train teens and I feel like we're getting, you know, now that bodybuilding is a little bit more on the forefront. So when like a teenager comes up to you and says, "Hey, I want to compete," like, is that any different than any other brand new adult that's starting to compete? Are there any things that you got to consider between the age groups or hormones or anything like that that might be different?
Yeah, so it's with teens, it's a little bit easier because they have a quicker response. So you can really start off extremely slow with them and not like the majority of everybody else who's like chest and biceps every single day. I'm hitting chest and bi every day. So with teens you can actually feed them because of their metabolism, and then they'll grow as they live. So I do take a little bit different approach just because they simply eat more, they have more energy, they're able to recover quicker. So you're able to push a little bit more on them as opposed to some adults.
Mm.
It's just their attention span.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta figure,
that.
you gotta really figure out which exercise is like that's gonna keep them engaged because they will disengage real quick.
Mhm. That's funny that you say
Yeah.
that because I had my son in the gym today and we were going to do rows. And I always like to do one arm at a time, like on the machine. And he sees me do it. He goes, "Mom, I'm going to go both at the same time." He's like, "I'm not going to do that one arm, one arm." But it goes down to that
Yeah.
whole, I'm going to be more efficient and I just I can't take the time to do like two. So I just got a chuckle out of that because it literally happened today.
Yeah, you gotta find it. And then it'd be like one day they like it, and then as soon as some of them they'll be like, "Ugh, I ain't that strong in this one. I don't feel it. I don't like it. I don't want bench press. I want to use the machine." So
Oh.
Is that so? I mean, all right. So my daughters do not work out. They are teenagers, but they don't work out at all. For you guys that work out with teens, then is that kind of what you guys do? Is constantly inspire them, constantly find ways to get them going? I mean, I can imagine it's a lot easier to try to keep a teenager online than it is to work with an adult and try to work and keep them online. No, am I making an assumption here?
so
I'll
I
go.
haven't go ahead.
No, you go first. You go first.
Oh, I was gonna say I haven't dealt with a teen like online. It's more so like in person.
Hmm. So I can say
Mm.
by experience with my teen, it's that they like Eric had mentioned, they respond so quickly. It's easy to keep him motivated because he's seeing those changes. It's almost like us being in prep as we're
Yeah,
dieting. It's the same way for him. Like he's seeing changes so quickly and he's getting stronger. And of course, they're at that age where they're comparing muscles and arm wrestling at school and he's starting to see he's getting that edge. He's getting that edge and he doesn't want to lose it. I can tell. Like he's like, "Are we going to the gym today? Are we going to the gym today?"
it become addicting, and
Yeah.
that's when you got them, and then that's when they're like wanting more sessions, especially like when their strength goes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I get
So
'em.
I think Showtime is watching. Showtime Keith. He's another one of our top competitors. So I do want to give Showtime a little shout out, a little love, because we're talking up Eric. He did
Mhm.
beat you at the Tampa Clash.
He beat me a couple,
Wow.
man, not just that one. He beat me a couple times.
Oh, did he beat you at the GBO?
Yeah, yeah. He beat me twice, three, 4 times, something like that. I stopped
Yeah.
counting after the second one.
Stop. Well, I was at the Tampa one. I got to that was so
Yeah.
much fun for me. Yeah, and then the Florida Pro, you know.
Yep.
Where did you place at the Florida Pro? Third?
I got four, I think no, I think I got fourth.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think I ended up getting fourth.
And now I know I heard from a little bird that you weren't going to be at the Florida Pro this year competing. Are you planning on being there in attendance?
No, I'm not. I want to though, but I'm gonna have to watch it. But I should be.
Live stream.
Yeah, I'll be watching it on live stream.
Sweet. Good.
So I probably won't touch a stage until like maybe 20. What's this? 23, 25. So after this year, because I'll be retiring next year.
Ah.
Woo,
Moving,
big military
moving to
retirement.
Tampa. I'm moving to Tampa. So we retiring. My wife, she already said it. She was like, "We're moving to Tampa." And she
Oh
was like,
my
"I got the
god.
house. I got the house. I got the area." So
Oh, there's some good schools out in Tampa too. That's awesome. Well, Florida life, baby. That's where it's at.
yeah,
Yeah, I definitely need to move my butt over to Florida. These taxes in California are killing me out here. I swear to God.
can't do
Uh,
it.
no, my God. If it wasn't, I told my daughters as soon as they're done graduating high school, which is 3 years, I am done. I am out of California. I'm done with these taxes. Like I'm done with all the everything else, and I'm not going to get any further into that because this is a bodybuilding show, not about getting triggered or politics. But I digress. Not that I'm upset about it, and I realize I'm kind of am getting myself triggered. Anyways, um, with, with that being said, on here, one of the questions that I do got to ask, especially because you have been in the sport for a while, like this drive that you keep talking about, this drive and this persistence, like where do you think that comes from for you?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't. If anywhere, it would have to be my mom's. And just her drive just to provide better for us. If it was one person, I would definitely have to say her. So like my family, like they so hungry and so driven. Like her, my grandma, my granddad, just like growing up, just watching them. Like my granddad leave like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, come home like 6, 7 o'clock at night, and repeat the process, you know. If anything, it had to come from them.
I got you. So like we were talking about earlier, like how you go from show to show to show, keep challenging yourself. So is it like even when you get off stage from one show, is it like, man, I gotta compete again? Is it like an insatiable feeling, or is it like this constant revolving motivation, satisfaction? Like how is that for you with regards to that emotional approach with each show and each day, I guess?
Each show has its own experiences. So last year, I think the only downside was that because I had so many, I really couldn't just like hone in and fully enjoy the experience. The only reason I did 19 shows was I don't know. I don't I won't do that again though. I won't do it again. It's not like I have to like compete multiple times. But I do want to compete with like the best. So like I know Eshell and Carolina Muscle put out a podcast.
Mm.
I think it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was to retire, I would 100% come back to do that. They were talking about trying to get all of the
Super
top
show.
athletes, yeah, from each organization.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. I listened to it as well, and I'm gonna put some input on that. Where does all the money come from? I think that I was listening to it just because I know so much about the back end of this sport because I was a promoter,
Mhm.
and I'm like, this sounds amazing, and all the top promoters from all the different organizations are going to get together. No, that's never going to happen because it's a money thing. It always comes down to a money and power thing. Always. It's why there's so
Yeah.
many different organizations. Why so many shows. So that part of it was just a mystery to me. I just was chuckling in the back of my mind, but I don't know where the money would come from. $20,000 payouts, and we got a lot of work to do on that. We are little foot soldiers on the ground here in natural bodybuilding, have a lot of self-promoting to do to build the sport. If we're going to have a super show like that, we really need to be out there. Speaking of which, you do a fantastic job promoting yourself, Eric. I love your social media page. You're constantly putting out content. You do a fantastic job with the sponsors that you have, representing them and sharing information on their products and showing yourself using it. So you do a good job managing your social media. I don't know if you do it all on your own, but I think more people need to kind of follow your lead, and that's how we grow.
Yeah, my wife, every time I post it, my wife is like, why you post that though?
Keith was like,
did you she'd be like, did you review that? Did you look at that? I really never look at whatever I post. Like if I start the reel, I start it and then I post it. And then I don't even look at it like when I post it. Somebody else got to be like, hey man, you know what you said? Like, nope. Because I was talking and I posted it. I ain't got time to sit there, edit and crop. I post it, keep moving.
Keith's still going about the super show. He's like, the registration would have to be $400 to $500.
Man, tell him to put it on there. Put the show on.
Put the show on.
See, I feel like if we actually, I feel like if we created like enough of a super show and gathered enough interest, like you wouldn't even have to register. Because if you were to say, hey, all of the top natural physiques are going to be posing in this event, I think there'll be enough sponsors from just the supplements alone that'll definitely cover every registration. They'll cover everything. And, oh, Sammy's shaking her head. I guess not. Look at. Well, no. Then enlighten me, guys, because I feel like you don't see people. I might be wrong here. But do people for the Olympia, do the top athletes for the Olympia, do they register? Do they have registration fees, or is it their sponsors that pay for it?
I have no clue on that side what they do, but I would probably say some of their sponsors probably pay, like their travel and everything like that.
Yeah, that's
what I'm wondering.
Because that's their individual sponsors. You're talking about, if all of the athletes had individual sponsors and they wanted to pay for them to be part of this super show, absolutely. But if you look around on some of our top natty athletes, excluding Eric, I mean, not a lot of them boast about having any type of sponsorship at any level for that matter.
Yeah. I don't know if there was a way to get the athletes out there.
It's like,
I think I'll show up. Put it at Vegas. Put it Vegas, Florida, Dallas. Yeah, I show up.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money last year.
I bet. No, I want to do, since you had a different flavor. You went to so many different organizations. You were fantastic about traveling all over the country. You don't have to give organizations or shows, but what are like a few of the things that you loved that really stood out to you as a pro athlete at some of those events? You don't have to, this doesn't have to be like an org or a promoter.
Some of the venues and the host hotels are nice. Mm-hmm. Some of the promoters are extremely well organized and detailed and like on time. So if they're like, I need you here at 8:00, that should start at 8. So it was nice. Stuff like that. Backstages with like TVs, so you can actually watch the other competitors. Because one thing I hate is when I'm backstage and then I want to see like figure, physique, or classic. I can't because I'm prepping to get on stage. So I miss like some of my favorite athletes on stage. So. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I have to say every organization that I went to last year, I enjoyed every show. I don't think there was one bad show.
Winners
maybe
always
like
say
a bad
that.
trip. Maybe bad trip.
Winners always say that. I guess every show is nice when you're winning, right? Like, oh, good show.
Well, I mean, like I didn't win them all, and then there's like some shows you just go in, you like, yep, I'm winning this show, and sometimes you You get
Yeah,
knocked all the way down, or you just don't get looked at. I mean, it was still a great experience.
of course. Of course.
You go
I
in
got you.
expecting to place first. I think everybody does that, but you realistically can't expect to win every single show.
It's true. It's true.
Okay. So, of all the shows that you went to, then that you competed in last year, is there one that you said all of them were good? Did any one of them exceptionally stick out to you? And if so, why?
All the ones I won, cause I got a check. I love that.
Well,
I do them again. All them. Yep. First, second. Yep. I love them shows. Um, now I would more so say probably like the locations,
Okay.
like the locations, and then the crowd. So like IP Worlds, the crowd was crazy. When I went to Dallas, like the music in the bar was crazy. When I was in Jersey, man, that was probably like the work. They got this like candy shop right next to like where you performing at. So it was like I literally hopped off stage and grabbed a boatload of candy on accident. You know, that was a perfect time
accident.
for it. Yeah, yeah.
Well, what's your favorite go-to right after you get off stage? Is it candy? Is it like burger? Like what's your go-to post-show food?
Oh, so it ain't really a post show because I people saw my reels leading up to shows last year. I eat going into the show. So uh tip for the majority of like last year, what was it? Like I think it was pizza. I had to look at my notes, but it was like pizza on Wednesday, wings on Thursday, and a burger on Friday. I think that was like my combination. So like on Saturday after the show, I really didn't care about eating
You're
fast
not
food.
craving.
So
Yeah. You got
yeah,
it
I was
all
like
in.
dialing it back in for like next week.
Man, you know what's so crazy? So, like I said, I'm still brand new to the sport, and I remember like reading up on people that would eat wings and pizza and everything right up for a show. And for me, who was just brand new to it, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I can't believe you're eating that. And especially when you're like devouring a pizza and then you just look as lean and ripped as you are, and then you just win a show. Like, man, this guy is
Yeah.
flexing and eating a slice of pepperoni pizza at the same time. What the hell am I doing
But I mean,
wrong? You know?
I didn't just try it during a peak week though. You know, I tested it. Like I tested that theory out. You know, I found out like it takes like more than 48 hours for those carbs, like all that carbs and sodium and all that like burgers and pizza to actually hit me. Like some people can eat it and then they look ridiculous in like an hour or two. You know?
Yeah.
My
No,
body's
it's
weird.
no, you're right though. There's so much individuality. That's like we've had a couple conversations with coaches about peak weeks and things like that. And you're right, it's so individual. And I think that that's the smartest way to do it is you really have to kind of test the waters because you put so much into that show day, right? So you definitely did that, right? And I mean, not like you didn't have any shows to test it on anyway, but yeah, you had
Mhm.
plenty of time.
But yeah, I had a whole lot of practice.
Yeah. No, that I think that's incredible. Yeah, so it does sound like you had a great experience at all the shows, and that's another thing to mention to athletes. The experience is what you make it as well. They always try to tell athletes that don't sit in the corner with your headphones on, and go out, meet friends, meet new people, take pictures. Um, Take advantage of some of the activities that the promoters have. If they have a step and repeat, get some pictures in front of it. Really make the most of that day because those memories you'll cherish forever, and those friendships that you make, you'll have for a lifetime as well.
Yeah, that was one of the best experiences. I got to meet a lot of people, especially a lot of people I followed on social media.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, when I first met you, I felt like I already knew you.
yeah, because we were going back and forth. Yeah, and then I had to gauge out where you posted up all your cameras.
Yes. So that's a funny thing about Eric Murphy is he made eye contact with my cameras. He was the only athlete who actually made eye contact. I should pull out all the footage and like play it in slow motion, but he's on stage, looking right through you into the live stream. Yeah, that was hilarious.
When you're an 18-time pro champion, I think you know where all the cameras are at by default. You know,
Oh
you don't
no, they
become
just started.
18-time
Nah,
pro
don't
champion
nobody.
without knowing where the cameras are.
Sammy had like 18 cameras all over the place. You look left to right, there's some cameras there.
Yeah, so
Oh my
actually
god.
being one of the leaders on social media, like I love you. I love Laz on social media. He makes me
Yeah, his
laugh.
stuff,
Oh,
his stuff is
he's
ridiculous.
so good. Like as soon as I see it pop up, I just watch cuz I know I'm going to get a good chuckle. His are great. So, what do you think about Subculture selling reels? So I'm finally going to be releasing my footage. What do you think of
Finally,
that?
you remember a while ago, I've been telling, I was like, yo, you should be getting paid for what you're doing.
I know. I know. I do have some incredible supporters that have been pushing me. But the reason I never released my footage was I'm a perfectionist, and there was always something I needed to work on. Something I needed to work on. Wasn't quite ready. It wasn't quite ready. Well, all the pieces have fallen together. So by the time I get to the Florida Pro, I'm gonna have everything ready. I have somebody that's working with me, and we are gonna. I think everybody benefits by me selling the footage because now you guys can share it on your own platforms and you guys can
Well,
attach your stories to the footage. When I posted on Subculture Live, I'm posting my story of the athlete. Like today, I posted a reel of Joe Lacera and I posted what I think of Joe, but it would be cool if
yeah.
he had footage and was able to put his own story or his own voiceover, just something, and I think this it'll help grow the sport. It will give everybody more exposure. So I'm ready to do that. It's a lot of work, and I just don't know if the athletes are gonna see it that way. You, yes, because you understand the importance of social media, but I have mixed feelings about how this will go.
See, I'm not that good at any of that. But every reel and every post and video that you post sent out, I've loved it. So I like if it's the quality, I don't see an issue with like people coming to you being like the quality.
No, no,
Me, if
quality
it
will
was
be
me, if it was me, I would fork over all the money and be like, yo, just create me a whole bunch of different reels just because I see the quality that you push out. If you used to
you're
be
right.
like, I'll give you 3 reels, I'd be like, can I triple pay? And then you give me like 6 or 9 reels.
And that would be an option. That is going to be, that's why we're doing three, because we want people to get a taste of it and we want people to see how it performs on their social media page, and the feedback that they get. And hopefully they will want more because the idea is at the Florida Pro, there is going to be so much footage. And we are capturing footage that's going to be intentional for reels, which I have never done before, and I don't know if I've ever seen anybody doing that before in the industry. So on top of what I'm collecting, there's going to be additional cameras that are designated and being
Yeah.
shot in a format just for reels. You guys, it is going to be sick. It's going to be so insane.
I
Like I
can't I
said,
can't wait to watch it.
there's years in the
I,
making.
I wish I could be there. I can't wait to watch it though.
Wait, let me see what Keith said. Okay, it says I'm not talking about enough about Murph is the reason men's physique is exciting. Oh, okay. He was one of the first, if not the first, to bring swag to the stage. IFBB, don't do quarter turns. So learn how to transition and learn how to find your own identity. Watch Murph. That's true.
He only saying that because
Yeah.
I just mimic everybody else. That was it. That's what you should do. You should do a reel of those. Like when we was at the Tampa. I think you posted
Oh
one. I
yeah.
think you posted one. And it was like identical. Like we were pretty much doing it like at the exact same time.
Yeah, no, you really do shine on stage. And you're smooth, even in the prejudging. It's just the little added touches. It doesn't take away from your physique. It definitely enhances it. I mean, Alan, as you're getting into the sport and doing your posing, you are you study? I mean, are you studying these pros and those little fine touches that they add to their transitions?
Of course, yeah, and that's what's really exciting about the show right now. Because here I am
Oh,
talking to Eric Murphy, who I've been following for a minute. I've also been following Showtime Keith on there as well. And I can definitely tell you, someone who's brand new to the sport, and I don't know if you guys know this, but by watching you guys, watching your guys' energy and watching your guys' moves, it definitely inspires me, not exactly to copy moves, but more of exemplify the same energy that you guys bring, because your guys' energy is what makes your moves so damn phenomenal. You know, because if I'm doing half the swag, you know, and everything that you're doing without any of the confidence, then it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what my moves are. The energy isn't there. And so the one thing I did, you know, want to thank you and Showtime Keith on is that the more I watch your guys' stuff, I just see the confidence, I see the energy. And I know that, you know, for people like me who are brand new to the sport, I absolutely love it. And you know what the thing is, it doesn't even apply to the sport. It's just more of, if you have this energy and this confidence about what you're pursuing, it just exudes in all other areas of that application. And so, like, what I really did want to thank you on is that, because I've learned a lot just from watching your reels, even though you don't review your reels. I
Yeah,
definitely
I definitely don't.
They're good. They're good.
But see, that's how you know this guy's got that much confidence, and that's how much you have. You're just like, well, it's gonna be good no matter what. It's me. Here you go, post. Like,
Yeah,
you know, so
that's
cool.
pretty much how I am. You know, like I post it, and if I stutter, if I mess up, or if I forgot something, hey, it is what it is.
Nice. It's raw. It's raw footage.
Yeah.
Right, I got one more question here. This is the one more question I
What we
got on this,
What we got?
because all right, so me and Sammy regularly on this show, and we kind of started getting into it earlier, is about how do we raise popularity to natural bodybuilding? How do we get the sport more popular? So maybe we've already talked about it, or maybe, you know, you have more ideas, but if there was one thing you could change about natural bodybuilding that could raise awareness to that sport, what would you do?
Consolidate. Consolidate all the organizations, which would not happen, or for all the natural organizations to actually start up like a YouTube and start doing like video recording their stuff and labeling like something along the lines of like natural bodybuilding shows, and then doing what you guys are doing, creating the edits and posting them on social media, and then posting them on their websites. Everybody from the circle that I'm with, we all share and support everybody. So if we can get everybody sharing, everybody supporting about natural bodybuilding, then it'll reach and touch more people.
I love that. And I think quality is a huge key there, because I do see sometimes, I've seen some orgs sharing stuff on their YouTube, and I'm just like, oh, like I see this and I kind of like, if I was a bodybuilder, if I was an NPC competitor, I'd be like, what is this? I'm not going to this show. It's a joke.
Slide in their DMs. Maybe they'll fly you out there.
Yeah. I'm closed. I'm closed for the year. No more clients for me. But no, you know what, Eric? The last question I'm going to leave you with is, what's the biggest fitness goal you have right now that might seem unrealistic to other people?
So I'm only really thinking about like this year. Mm-hmm. My mindset wasn't set on compete. Like I was at one point, but I don't think my mind was really set there. But I would say for this year, really probably just competing with my wife and getting her addicted and doing like the couples, a couple shows.
Yeah.
Because right now she is the only reason I'm driven. Because if she back out of this show, I'm back in my kid's snack drawer. So.
Thank you, Keith. So yeah,
my God.
I think that's great that you guys are going to be doing this together. So you are getting on stage this year.
Yeah, I will.
I will.
Yeah, I will. I believe so. It's all in the Ghetto magazine of which shows I'm gonna do.
Oh, I gotta see.
Y'all might want to grab that.
Gotta look. Ooh, so it's on Amazon now.
No shameless bug whatsoever. Good for you. I like it. I like it.
That's
like, yo, get your copy. You know what I mean? And if we're lucky enough, we might get an autograph from him too. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to read it. I can't. I'm left-handed, and I can't write. So.
No,
I'll sign it. I don't know if you're gonna understand
it's a true pro
it.
athlete.
You gotta go bed. Give me my love.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, Alan, is there anything else, or Eric, anything else you guys want to add?
oh, not y'all. I was telling her they got
Oh,
school tomorrow. Oh,
I
you
was
talking
just
Oh,
to
so excited to catch up with you, and I did want to congratulate you for an incredible year last year. And like Showtime said, you really do bring something special to the sport. You're a joy to follow. You're a joy. You know, you're just an all around like great guy. You play. You're fine with doing some of the friendly banter, which I love. I kind of stopped with that a little bit because I got the vibe that some people didn't like it. And I don't want to step on anyone's toes. You know, it's the world we live in. Gotta keep.
I like it.
Ah,
I like it. I mean, if it's people they feel uncomfortable, they should just probably just say something. But I get it. I
yeah,
mean, it makes it entertaining.
it does. It does. And it is. And that's what it is. And anytime there's a call out, both parties have already agreed to it. And it's like wrestling. It's all been scripted. So, but I think people that didn't know that were literally getting offended when it didn't even have anything to do with them. They were like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. It's like, this is entertainment. Like, we all already know what's going to happen and what's going to be said. And I used to say that when I would reach out to people, I'd be like, "This guy's like wrestling. Okay, I just wanted you to know this is what this person's gonna say. This is what this person's gonna say, and we're just gonna react." But that's
I
what
like
was
it.
that's what
I
was
was tuned
pulling.
in.
Yeah, that's what was. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I don't know. Sometimes I think we should go
I
back.
thought I think people bring out the best in each other. You know what I mean? Like it definitely, if Eric goes over here like, Alan, you better get on your shit and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, you're right. I'm going to get on my shit and I'm going to definitely work out. You know, I don't know why we're going to sit here and try to act like competition hasn't existed throughout humanity and act like we haven't challenged each other to be better. And that's exactly what makes us all better. So no offense to anybody. If you're going to be into a sport that competes and you get mad that people are competitive, then you're not doing yourself any kinds of favors whatsoever.
And
Just
I mean, it ain't like we the ones up there judging. It's like it's a panel of judges. So I mean, you can talk all the trash, you can say what all you want, but you can't be mad at nobody. I mean, you got a panel of judges. So let the judges judge.
Yeah, yeah. No,
right.
you're right. You're right. So Showtime made a good point. He said if media outlets and shows continue to promote their champions and their story on and off the stage and focus on the athlete and not just the federation, the way the sport would pull all fan bases from all federations and organizations, which, yeah, I think that's fair. I think that some organizations, though, really like to kind of keep ownership of their champions. So I see that happening, but and I can understand why they would do that. But that's why there's somebody I try to stay really neutral. There's only one organization that I've been completely canceled from, so I don't mention them too often. I don't go out of my way to promote them, but I still love all of their athletes, and I have them on the podcast regularly, and I even have one as a co-host. But but you know what I mean? I try to stay super neutral. Or as Daryl DeVore would say, I try to be Switzerland. Because I think that's important. Because I agree with Showtime. Like it's about we have so much.
Yeah.
Like Eric, you're like one of the top pros in the men's physique division, and you need to be out there. People need to talk to you. And it's gonna like inspire like Alan. He was already following you, like he was already inspired by you, and he was just dipping his toes into the sport. And that's what we need. All of those new people, all that fresh blood that's coming in to be inspired by our top pros. And that only happens if they see you, right? The
Yeah.
more you guys are out there, the more they stumble across you. So I agree.
No. And here's not to mention too, because I know I guess we're talking about different federations owning different athletes per se. I don't know of any federation I only know the people. I only know who Eric is. I know who Keith is. I know the people that I follow by name. So if any of these federations are listening, nobody cares what federation has what athlete. All we care about is the athlete. And so look at, I'm going to go off on this. Get over the money things. Let's raise popularity for the sport. Do some people need to make some sacrifices? Yes. But in order for the sport to grow, you kind of need to get over these things because no one cares. Like Eric, I don't know what federations you compete in, bud, but I know you kick ass every single time you show up on stage. So if you showed up to anything, it could. I don't even care if you're showing up against Keith. That's something I want to go watch because those are the two athletes. I don't think, oh, hey, this federation versus that federation. No one cares. All people care about are the athletes, the people that they follow in the journeys. And if we can, like we keep on saying, we can get everybody all together, then I think that is what gets the sport.
Yeah, I'll go to a show, especially if people start popping up. I'll change my schedule and start popping up to shows I wasn't expecting to. Because you're right. Really, I don't look at the organization. Like some shows I had to like pull out and then actually end up doing a couple different shows just because a lot of different competitors I wanted to compete against was actually showing up to those shows. And that was the only way I was going to compete against them. So I would have to change some stuff around just to actually see how I stood out against some of them.
That is fun. But I want to piggyback on what Alan said. You know, it's funny. So you guys know I go around, and when I'm not live streaming, sometimes I'll pop up at shows and I'll just collect footage. So, like, for instance, I have a bunch of reels of you, Eric, from shows that I've been to that you were at. So when I'm so when I'm creating content and I'm posting those reels on my Subculture page, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't want people to think like the ANBF is trying to take ownership of Eric or the Florida Pro is trying to take ownership of Eric. It's really me just wanting to give you exposure, and that's just the content I have. Those are just the shows that I was at that you were at. And so, you know, so if people see like Eric's on the ANBF stage a lot because I'm constantly posting reels because I have great footage of you on those stages. It's not that I'm trying to take ownership. It's just it's good footage and it's you. Because when I'm creating those, I don't see the background. I am focused on how do I make this athlete look the best I can look. You know, maybe slow motion, maybe add this, maybe change that. That's all I think about.
If you got it, post it. Don't matter to me, and I'll pay for it. If you sit there and you tell me you got a couple of reels, you tell me how much, and I just send over. I'll tell my wife, and then I'll send you the money.
You're sweet. But moving forward, that may be the deal. But all the old footage I have, I still want to promote everybody in a positive light. Yeah, but no, it's all good stuff, you guys. And so the takeaway from this whole interview was just that I wanted to congratulate you for an incredible year, tell you what a great champion you are, and love your content, and can't wait to see you back on stage.
Yeah, I'll be at a couple of them. I'll be at a couple of shows, maybe. If the wife hang in there, I'm in there.
Are any in Florida at the end of the year? Is there any down here?
So
you're probably going to be in Texas.
I got a couple shows that I want to do. They in that Get 'Em magazine. Which ones I plan on doing? You know that. But like I said, if she, I'm telling you, if she backs out, I'm going to Sam's Club. Like right now, like my whole cabinet is cleared out. Whole cabinet's cleared out. I'm on the healthy journey now. But if she say I'm done too.
And then it's 2025.
Yeah, and it'll be 2025.
All right, so it just all rides on your wife right now. So the men's physique guys are going to be sending her like encouraging messages all because they want you back on stage.
She good though. She got that good boost right now. She's seeing like her strength go up and her muscle mass go up and body fat dropping. So I think she's at that drive stage right now. She want to see more. So cool. I don't think she's gonna quit no time soon.
No quit. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna sign out. But Alan, do you have anything else to add?
No, Eric, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming on and keep doing what you're doing, man. Like I said, I was talking about earlier, sometimes you inspire more people than you're aware of, and you've definitely been an inspiration for me. So thank you very much for that.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna be following the journey though. I'm gonna see you get the pro card. We're gonna speak it into existence.
Absolutely.
Damn right. And then you never know. I get to try to pull off my own Eric Murphy moves against you. You never know.
Yeah, Yeah, you can bring them. Just let me know what you're gonna do, and I'll do the same thing. I mean, I think I done seen it all. Somebody came out with the same music right before me, like right before me. I ain't gonna call out no names. I thought that shit was so funny.
So, Alan, I guess I should tell him he should start working on his moonwalk.
You should, yeah. So my very first show, I pulled off a moonwalk, Eric. I'm just saying, you know, you never know what this guy's got.
I can't do that. I tried it, so you got me on that one.
Woo! I'm gonna save this clip right here because Eric Murphy just said he can't do a move that I did on stage.
Yeah, I practice it, but
yeah, I'm just saying I don't even need my pro card anymore. That's enough validation right there, bro. I'm good. I'm good, guys. I'm good.
And I wouldn't be mad if you posted a clip of like my dancing at the after party and then like a posing clip because it's just to show people like you don't really have to have rhythm to know how to pose. You just got to practice.
I'm still in disbelief that you don't have any good dance moves, Eric. I'm just mind blown right now that that's a real thing.
It's too late for my wife. I got it before we got to the club. See?
You guys are funny. Yep. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thank you again, Eric. And I will be seeing you. I know that our paths will cross this year for sure at some point. And and I will look forward to seeing you on the Florida Pro live stream. And I look forward to seeing all of your fun content on your social media.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Good night. Good night, Alan.
All right.
I'm going to run my little outro. I run this. It looks silly on Facebook, but it's for YouTube. Here we go.